Kyungishan Dojian.
All right, guys, here we go. This is going to be an awesome game. I can feel it. We've got our red Terran player from the team imbaFXO in the bottom right of the map, Calm Before the Storm. It is imbaFXO.Strelok. And in the lower right, in the blue, the winner of the last 2 games, actually, from the team MTW, it is mTw.Dimaga.
Okay, so we are all tied up. Now, if you guys want to recap, Lowly actually took two very convincing games for imbaFXO at the beginning of the set. Unfortunately, he had to leave and was forced to forfeit his game against Reen from MTW. Immediately, his teammate Elbagast took another game, though, so they were up 3-1, but Dimaga's been coming in and smashing since then.
You know, I do wonder a little bit what would have happened if Lowly had been able to stay and continue to playing. He was looking really, really good.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. That might come back to haunt them, so, you know, we'll see.
All right, well, here it is now. We are in the next game, as we mentioned before, and really looking forward to this. Of course, Calm Before the Storm is a fun map. This is going to be, well, actually, not a lot of fun for Dimaga if Strelok decides to go into big drop play, though, because he is going to throw down that natural at the back of his main, down that ramp that is pretty accessible to any dropships Strelok would send across.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like you said, it does kind of lend itself to drop play on this map. And Strelok does tend to like to be a little bit more aggressive. Every time we see Strelok play, I always have to say I would love to see Strelok go into mech play.
Yeah.
Because he does it so often. Oh, I like this too by Dimaga, actually taking his natural on the low ground. That's a lot of Zergs tend to do that. In fact, most do on this map. It's a little bit different than Crevasse because your natural is much more protected, so you can take that, then use your backdoor base as kind of an easy defendable third. So that's fine. But yeah, just to kind of restate, I want to see Strelok go mech. I would be so happy. I love it when he does it.
I just like mech, don't you? I know
I
you
love
do.
mech. I think it's just a lot of fun. It looks cool.
Every time
big robots and stuff.
Every time he and I are watching a game that's not IPL related or anything like that, it's always mech.
Yeah, man.
And I don't blame you. It's fun to watch. It really is.
It is. I've got high hopes for mech in Heart of the Swarm. We'll see.
All right. Well, let's see here as gas is coming down at the moment. Not going to go into any no gas mass racks play or anything like that. Dimaga, on the other hand, no real surprise. Looks like he. Oh, wait, nope. There is a real surprise as he is going to go for the 3-minute and 30 seconds third hatch.
18 third hatch. He just went hatch, pool, hatch. I love it. That's so cool. That's actually...
Is this in Brood War?
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, just taking a lot of hatches. Someone was telling me about a game that I believe it was Jaedong played back when the metagame was just hatch, where he did like something like 5 hatches before anything else. It was getting a little bit ridiculous for a while in Brood War. But, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen in StarCraft 2. The metagame can do weird things to tournaments, so we'll have to see. But Dimaga, I got to say, it is at this point a bit of a bold move, a bit of a risky maneuver to go for that really, really early hatch. But Strelok doesn't put a lot of pressure on him, or can't for whatever reason. It could really, really pay off.
And we'll see how quickly Strelok picks up on this. Has he found it? No. Despite the fact that he did have an SCV running around his opponent's base, he didn't sneak on down there to the third.
Don't think he was really expecting that. Yeah.
All right, and it looks like this is going to be the CC first reactored Hellion build.
Yep.
As there's our reactor. No terrible surprise, actually, out of him yet. I mean, Dimaga's is a little bit risky. I'm going to be watching his build a little bit closer, but Strelok is playing as standard can be right now.
Yeah, I mean, that reactored Hellion is going to be the standard in TVZ for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's just so safe. You can do anything out of it. You can go into Marine Tank, you can go into Bio, you can go into Mech from it. So, yeah, I mean, for the foreseeable future, I don't see a whole lot of variation from the reactor Hellion expand, other than someone just trying to do something new to kind of mess up their opponent.
And it looks like Strelok has actually picked up on this third base, sees it constructed as well, so he knows his opponent is really investing in those hatcheries to start this game.
Yep.
I imagine he's going to play defensively as a result, but I like this. A starport follow-up right now. He knows his opponent is going to be a little bit weak on defenses and things like that, investing in economy, and the Tech Lab starport, the Banshee's follow-up to this, could be very powerful.
Yeah, he's going to go for some Banshees too. Dimaga's going to need to put down a spine crawler. Yep, there's one right there. So he's going to need at least one. I mean, he doesn't know this, but one is probably all he'll need at the moment because his opponent is going Banshee. But in this type of situation, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Zerg player put down like 2 spine crawlers just to stay really safe.
Sure.
Because like you said, you're just not going to have a lot of units to defend either. And wow, a fast lair off of this. This is a very bold play by Dimaga.
Well,
cool.
That is going to give him mobile detection here in a bit, because he will be able to put up Overseers to help against the Cloak that's going to be making its way out. And that actually should time nicely, as he will have Overseers out just as those Cloak Banshees make their way across. But that being said, we're going to see how much damage Strelok can do now.
He's going to get the surround. He catches one Hellion, but his Zergling's taking some damage there. He's going to need to pull back. Yep, that's what he does. Got to fight near the spine crawler. Don't want to get too far away.
Really minimal defense, though, continuing out of Dimaga at the moment. And a Baneling Nest following this up right now. Is he aware of the presence of any of these Banshees yet?
Will be soon enough.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But his lair's just about to finish up as well. And he's going to have an Evolution Chamber.
Yep. Strelok doing a little bit of pressure from the front here. The spine crawler burrowing right in the range of the Hellions. It doesn't mind. It's got kind of a tougher carapace, I guess. It can withstand some flames.
Really good sense of time out of Strelok, though, to pull back just as the spine crawler roots. So nice job there. Does the maximum possible damage while sitting back. And there's our Spire. So Baneling, Muta, Speedling, it's pretty standard stuff out of Dimaga after kind of a unconditional opening.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't
unconventional. I said it again.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If he doesn't take a lot of damage from the Banshees, he should be in awesome shape. Actually, he's going to have a really strong economy. He's going to have Mutalisks out. His opponent will have invested in something. He will have invested a lot, in fact, in something that hasn't really had a big payoff. So a lot really hinges on these Banshees and how much damage Strelok is able to do with them.
All right, so let's see here. Any Sport Crawlers up yet? No, Spines, actually. And here come the Banshees. They're already cloaked up. And there's 11 drones popping their way out right now. The Spire is not done yet. And these Banshees are going to do quite a bit of damage.
Yes, they are. Strelok already doing a lot of damage with those Banshees. And Dimaga needs some sort of detection. He doesn't have any Overseers out right now. There's one starting to morph at the moment. I'm a little bit surprised that Strelok's not focusing those Queens down. He actually could have killed, some of those Queens by now. There it finishes. And he does get a glimpse of it. Actually, those Banshees running out of energy.
But you're right, though. If he disrupts the production of the injects, if he kills, let's say, 6 drones and 2 queens, that's way better than him just killing 11 or 12 drones right now.
It does help a little bit, definitely. I mean, I've got a feeling one of those queens would have had some transfuse on them as well, so he may not have actually been able to kill 2 queens, but I don't know. It's a tough call. Do you go for the drones? Do you go for the queens? I mean, you have to make that decision. He decided to go with the drones. I think that was fine to make, but we'll see if he did enough damage to make it all worth it.
And did I say 11 or 12 drones? I actually meant 17 with those 2 Banshees, so he has certainly justified their cause.
Yep. Drones are pretty nice.
All right, well, one Banshee scooting away, the other going to make its way. Let's see, it looks like that's actually going to get caught possibly by this drone making its way up. Oh, look at this, actually making a hatchery at just the same time that the Banshee sees it. Yes, he does.
There we go, yeah. And so that's going to be something that Dimaga might need to cancel. We'll see. The other Banshee's going to come back. One Banshee by itself doesn't have enough DPS to kill it. Oh, it's not going to matter, though. The Mutas are out. The Overseer's not going to be too far behind. So this hatchery for Dimaga, it's going to be pretty close, but I think he's going to save it. Yep.
Oh, nice job, though, cloaking the Banshees right away. Dimaga getting in there with the Overseer just a little bit too late, and the Banshees do survive. And, of course, against Strelok, the critical information he needs to go ahead and start pressuring that later. But, all right, Dimaga's making his way out now with a good number of Mutalisks. However, there's already a missile turret in place and a bunch of Marines.
Yep, lots of Marines. Thankfully, they don't have the imaginary splash damage upgrade like that. That would have been bad. But Dimaga doing some damage, killing some SCVs. He's going to need to make a run for it. Whoa, being a little bit careless, losing one Muta. I didn't notice their heads pop off when they die like that in the past.
No, that was actually, I'd never noticed that either.
So head off. How did he do that?
I will have to pay attention more often now.
Second one too. Ouch.
Yeah, very nice job. And there's a missile turret sitting here.
No.
Third falls, and all of a sudden, Strelok is up by 30 supply, and he has picked up on this 4th base, as we mentioned. Yes, it looks like Dimaga has been able to secure that for a little while, but still, very, very nice job here by Strelok.
Well, the thing is I mean, I think Dimaga's read his opponent quite well, because he's got to ask himself, well, what can Strelok really do to me right now with these kind of expansions really far off? I mean, he's not really going for drops, so I don't really need to worry about that all that much. He can't push out across the map, especially when there's like a million Banelings being made, but looks like Strelok is going to go for something anyway. And we'll have to see how well it works. I think Dimaga might be pretty well prepared for that, but you have to be careful, though, in this situation, not to overmake Banelings. It's really easy to get those focus fired by siege tanks, and that'll turn a win into a loss really quick. So Dimaga's going to have to be very careful about how he engages this army.
And we're going to have 5 base Hive Tech sub 15 minutes here in just a second for Dimaga. Shows you just how far this game has come in the past couple of years, because or in the past year even, because this would have just not been seen a year ago. But
yeah,
now
Dimaga's playing very greedy.
Yes, but you know what? If he's able to get his production to match what comes out here in just a second, he just needs to play defensively and not take economic damage, and he is going to have the tech to overrun his opponent. But Strelok, look at that! He's almost maxed sub 15 minutes on a very, very powerful and well-upgraded Marine tank army. Oh, but he's not sieged up!
No siege here. Strelok not really responding in time either. Dimaga swinging around the outside. The Marines not doing any damage really at all. Dimaga's going to crush that army so easily, and I think we're just going to see him move into Infestor Ultra from here. I mean, it's going to be pretty good for Dimaga at this point.
That was so devastating. That was exactly what Dimaga needed. That was just perfect. And look at that. There were still Mutalisks sitting there, so no problem at all driving off those Banshees. Not going to continue to do damage, and Dimaga is going to be producing off of 5 bases very quickly.
Got to be a little bit careful trying to move into that, but yeah, getting the Adrenal upgrade very, very quickly for his Zerglings.
All right, a couple of Marines there, biting the dust up at the front. Glaveworm taking out 2 units at once. Not too often you see that.
His head popped off again.
And look at that. Spore Crawler's in place, and Dimaga's driving that away. So this has done a complete 180, because now Strelok, okay, there he's starting a 4th base. I was about to say, has been thrown on his 3 base for so long now that eventually his production is going to start to suffer as he mines out of his main, which is getting pretty close now.
Yep, Ultralisk Cavern on the way for Dimaga, so he will be moving into that Dimaga style Ling Infestor Ultra. I mean, there's the big attack against Stefano. I mean, not Stefano, I had him on my brain. Strelok not paying attention here, and that is going to be about it, guys. I don't think Strelok is going to be able to survive another 5 minutes in this game.
No. Oh, man, you got to think. Had he had both of those engagements where he was overrun, if he had tank sieged up, he would have been just fine, especially in that first one.
GG.
There it is. GG.